Hi everyone, welcome to Eden's Secret. Today we are making wood, sage and sea salt soap from NI Candles in the UK. NI Candles buy fragrances in from Australia, but I don't know which company they buy them from. So if you're in Australia, have a look at the NI Candles website at all the fragrances and you might recognise which company. You might be familiar with the company that supplies them. We're also going to be using some lovely colours today. We're using Bonny Buttercup Sparkle from You Make It Up. It's a really vibrant yellow without being fluorescent. We're using Blue One Water Dispersible Pigment. The CI number is 42090. We're also using Green Water Dispersible Pigment, which is a mix of Blue One and Yellow One. It's a straight half and half mix, this. But if you want a more vibrant green, go for 2 yellow to 1 blue. The CI numbers are 42090 and 11680, the yellow. Now, I found a new whisk, small whisk. Remember, I was using that whisk the other day and it was absolutely useless. So I found this one, which I thought, I got it on Amazon. It looked a little bit longer and more substantial. And the good thing is it's got a USB connection, so you can charge it up from your computer. Dumb me though, I was like, the cable is only about 8 inches long, if that, and I was thinking, how am I supposed to reach to my soap from the computer? But silly me, you know what I'm like with technology. I pushed the button and it turned on straight away. So I realised that the USB port is to charge it. So that is marvellous. It was already charged when I bought it, but I've charged it up fully now. So let's have a look at that. I think it's going to be quite good actually, but you never know until you use it for what you want it for. So as you can see, it's quite a long tool. Sorry. Sorry. It has 3 speeds, I think. Oh, it's getting worse now. And then it has like a couple of attachments. This one for whisking. And then it's got this attachment here, which has 2, I'm going to say ends on it. Oh, no. No! So it has 2 of the whisks on the end. And you just pop it in like so, and then you press the button and it vibrates. Okay, let's mix up some yellow colour, shall we? So I love these little containers. They're 125 grams. And they're great for mixing up any colours. I have a feeling the last time I mixed this colour, it took a little bit extra time to blend in. So rather than blend it straight in with my soap, I'm just going to blend it in the tub first. It's a beautiful yellow, I have to say. And then we're going to take my measuring spoons. A link I'll put in the description box for those. And I'm going to put at least 2 tablespoonfuls in. I think, no, we'll just go with 2 tablespoonfuls at the moment. It seemed like a little bit too thick the last time I put that in. I'm a bit frightened to press this because It might be, oh, it is. Oh yes, it's definitely more powerful. Oh, it's much better. It's excellent. As you can see, I've made a bit of a mess with the mica roll. Yeah, that is a brilliant, brilliant mixer. So DALLFOLL is the brand name. Oops. Whoops, did you get splashed there? Right, now I'm going to need to clean all this up. So I need to be more careful next time, don't I?
There's a tiny tin man in the sand. I see a flower in his hand, greeting all the mighty waves to land. There's a little girl with golden hair, running free with no despair. And I wonder who has brought her here, into this playful place, this playing space with sparkling grace. I wanna sing, sing, sing in 1,000 ways. In the sky, cloudy dolphins floating by. Just imagine how they play and hide. So let us call upon the force we keep within. Send our love away, invite the universe into this playful place, this playing space with sparkling grace. I wanna sing, sing, sing in 1,000
Okay, so this soap isn't in the pot swirl, so I'm going to add my fragrance now. Actually, I don't know if you've noticed, if you've been on the soap supplier website, looks like they're selling the soap supplier site to the soap kitchen. So all I'm hoping is that the prices don't go up, because soap supplier have very, very reasonable prices for what you get. And this fragrance is it's quite masculine and very Mediterranean. It's one of those, again, that smells very Mediterranean. If you haven't been to the Mediterranean, you might wonder what I'm talking about. And the men wear aftershave that is quite different from what you get in our country, at least. And they're very like ozonic. I know ours are, but there's just like, it's weird. It's like Mediterranean Sea meets aftershave. Just very fresh, clean, and slightly citrusy as well. Okay, so as I said, this is going to be an in the pot swirl. So we're going to split some of the soap off into here. I don't want a lot of yellow in there, but I want more green and more blue. So that's going to be the yellow, that's going to be the green, and then the blue will be what's left in here. So I want the blue to be quite strong. Actually, I'll start with the yellow first. So that mica mixes in absolutely beautifully. Remember to always scrape your edges around your jug, and this will probably eliminate glycerin rivers. There are other reasons why you get glycerin rivers, but I'm not that familiar with them. But when I get glycerin rivers, it's always because I haven't mixed the soap properly, just like I did there. So the pigment will often need a shake before you pour it. Just let it settle down. These, although I've got pigment in these bottles, the lid area is not ideal because you always get dribbles down the side. So I want them to be really strong. So I'm going to put quite a lot of green in there. Now this will morph, but it will go back to a beautiful green once it's saponified. So it's, as you can see, it's a nice deep rich green, but by the time we pour it, it might have changed colour. Okay, so I'm hoping you don't mind me tapping on the side of the jug. I know it's one of my, it's a habit of mine. I don't know if it's a bad habit. I thought it was, but seems like you don't mind it. So I'm going to give the blue a good shake as well. And I'm going to put quite a lot of that in, because I want it really strong. The last time I made this, I couldn't stop looking at the soap for days and days, well, a couple of weeks after. Every time I looked at it, it just made me feel good, and it's very different to the colours that I tend to use. Maybe it was just that it is different to what I normally do, but I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. So as you can see, I just want it nice and strong, nice and dense. And then if you're mixing in your container like this, you will notice that around the edge where you've poured here, can you see how that oil is still clear? So you need to make sure all that is mixed in as well. Of course, the soap makers who've been making soap for a long time know all about mixing their colours in thoroughly. And I'm always grateful to everybody that watches my videos. Whether you're a soap maker or not, you are welcome. And even if you're a soap maker and you make something that's similar to something I've made, then please post it. Please tag me on Instagram. You know, I don't mind if you're a soap maker and you want to tag something that's similar to mine. Doesn't matter. I know the majority of people that watch either make soap, or they're interested in soap making, or just love watching soap making videos. I'm well aware of that. So never be afraid to approach me or tag me, that kind of thing. Share my videos. You're welcome to do it all. Right, I'm just going to let these thicken up a little bit, and then we'll come back, because this is obviously going to be an in the pot swirl, but I think it works better if the colours are a little bit thicker and then they don't blend in, morph into each other. So we'll be back as soon as they're ready to pour. Okay, so my green has thickened up quite a lot, and the reason that's happened is because I was uploading my SD card while it was thickening. I didn't want to stop, which I should have just used a different SD card, because I have got 3. But I thought it's not too thick that we're not going to get away with it. So the difference with the pigment compared to the mica is actually quite substantial, isn't it? Actually, I might just leave that yellow and put a squiggle of it on the top. Right, now time to pour. Right, so what you're going to need if you're doing this type of soap, if you're trying to split your batch and you want the heights to be the same for each, just take your ruler and pop it in there like you do with a dipstick, and it's exactly 1 inch on that one, and we've got exactly 1 inch on that one as well. So we'll split what's left in the container. I use it all up, I'm just going to check the height again. So we're just over 1 1/4. Seems like that one needs a little bit more in because that's not quite up to 1/4 yet. Because I absolutely hate it when I do these types of soaps and one is deeper than the other. Right, that's then poured, and now it's time to pop on our gorgeous lily pads. No, it's not. We're just going to drizzle a bit what I've got left over of that yellow soap on the top. There's not much left. So if you're wondering where the molds are from, I got them from a company called the Mold Shop, but they're actually not trading anymore. But I'm certain Brambleberry have one that's very similar with a much better liner. The Brambleberry liners are absolutely superb. These types of liners, the white, it's very hard to keep them clean. Like you can see, I've still got glitter stuck on this one here, and they warp quite a lot. But they still do the job. I'm just going to use my ruler again to scrape this off the side. I usually use those square kebab sticks from Sainsbury's, but I used them all up when I made those cake pop soaps. Right, now it's time to add the lily pads. Make sure they're not going to sink. So except for piping the lily pads, it's a really easy soap to make, this one. Okay, so I was just looking at property. I absolutely love looking at property, and you know, we're very lucky to live where we live and everything, but I do have like 2 dream houses. So what would be your type of dream house? For me, I would love a house in the woods or in by the lake. Looks like I've need to put more of these in. Yeah, in the woods by the lake or a beach house. Now, I really like wooden houses, and I also really like really modern houses as well, you know, like a lot of glass. So I'm going to put a couple of pictures up for you after we've laid all these lily pads, so you can see what I would really like. I wouldn't want a great big house, no way. So if I put a picture of a big house, really I just want like a section of it. I don't need a great big mansion or anything. But I just love the idea of being around the trees and by the water. So I'm going to put those pictures up now. Let me know in the comment section below what your dream house would be. Where would it be? What type of style? You know, do you like Georgian houses or Art Deco or modern or contemporary or traditional, or, you know, let me know what your dream house is. Coming up are my dream houses right now. Alright, it's time to cut this beauty. So I've already marked the edges, 7.5 centimeters by 8 centimeters each block of soap is going to be. The cutter is from the mold shop again, so unfortunately they're not trading anymore, so there'll be no link in the description box to this item, but if I can find a very similar one, I'll put a link to that. So where your markers are, just line up your wire and then line it up at the other end, because there's a groove in the tray, so you know exactly where to line up the 2 markers, and that way you'll just get a nice straight cut from one mark to the next. And that's what we look like on the sides. So I don't know if it's been popping up in your recommended videos, but all these public freak out compilations are popping up in my videos. I don't know if it's because my name's Karen, because a lot of these people seem to have been given the name Karen. I don't know if any of you have any idea why they've been called Karen. But from what it looks like to me, it looks like the racist ones, any public freakouts that are racist, they seem to have the name Karen. Or am I wrong? Is it just anybody that freaks out is called Karen? I mean, I'm not a freaker-outer, and I've never freaked out. At least I didn't think I had. I haven't freaked out, what you would call freaked out. But I thought, have I ever been in a situation like that where I've actually said something to somebody else? And I remembered a moment. One of the things I really dislike is people that push in. So that used to wind me up a little bit. Although it doesn't now. I don't care. If someone wants to push in, I just let them. You know, I just give them the hand and say, off, yes, yes, certainly. Off you go, no problem. If they want to push in, they can. But it wasn't always that way with me. I remember years ago, me and John had been waiting at the supermarket for a parking space, and I think we'd been waiting about 15 minutes. It was quite a long time, and someone just sneakily zipped in to the space that we'd been waiting for, a lady, and so John and I had to say something to her. I said that was our space, and whatever she said, she didn't care back at us. And John said, "You selfish bitch." He called her a selfish bitch. And she told us to get a life, and honestly it just shut us down like that. We weren't used to that kind of situation, so off we went with our tail between our legs. So that's the nearest situation I can think of that we've been in, or I've been in before. So have you ever been in a situation like that? Tell me your stories in the comments below. What happened? What was said? What led you to say something? Or what were the other people saying to you? Share if you want to. So you can see we've got nice strong colours in this bar. Actually, I think I'm going to use the other cutter to do. Can I? No, I can't. That's right, I can't, because the bar is too long for the other cutter. This measurement from here to there, it won't actually fit. So I've got to cut the whole bar with this one. I've got a really special soap coming up for you next. Obviously tomorrow we'll have the fast version of cutting this soap, and then I've got another soap coming up for you which I haven't actually made yet. I'm going to be making it after I've finished this. So I don't even know if it's going to work out very well, but the idea in my head, it's going to work. It'll be beautiful if it works. So we'll see in reality whether it does or not. But it's something I've been going to do. You know, I've got a book where I draw all the ideas down for the products I'm going to make. And most of the ideas that I come up with, they just, something pops into my head, usually when I get in bed at night. But this one, oh, I need to mark this because, yeah. But this idea is something I've seen that has led me to want to create this special soap for all of you. But I've never gotten round to it. But I'm going to be getting round to it today. I'm going to be doing it today. Just need to make sure that that's the 8cm length. So also, if you don't want to talk about public freakouts and you're a soap maker, where does your inspiration come from? I mean, apart from obviously ideas just popping into my head, inspiration can come from anywhere for me, you know, even in the supermarket. Or a movie you're watching, or a cookery show perhaps. But this next one, you're going to definitely know what it is. I don't think there'll be anyone on the planet that won't have heard of what I'm going to be doing. So, and I don't think it's been done before in soap. I have had a look to see if there's anything. It probably has been done. I mean, just about everything's been done now, but I can't find anything on Google to say that it's been done. So hopefully it's a totally original idea. But saying that, you know, there's bound to be something somewhere. Someone's bound to have taken inspiration from this thing to make a soap. I'm sure of it. I'd be very surprised if it hadn't, put it that way. Because I have been around a long time, in the early days I have done a lot of firsts. Alright, I'm going to just chop away at this next one, and we'll come back when I'm ready to trim them up. Okay, so let me know if you like watching me use a potato peeler on the soap to trim the edges up. I quite like doing it. I find it very therapeutic. And it just tidies the bar up really well, doesn't it? So also I was wondering, like, did you have a holiday booked this year? Have you had to cancel it? Have you got, you know, should you already have been on your holiday and you've missed out? Have you got a holiday booked sometime this year and have you had to cancel it? Have you had your money back? Obviously we haven't got a holiday booked or anything, but I'm hoping we can go away next year though, because it's our 25th wedding anniversary, so I want to go somewhere. I don't know if we'll go actually on our wedding anniversary though, because it's in July and it's always more expensive at that time of year. And usually we go to Florida, and we usually go in November, October or November. But when you come back, the weather's always freezing cold when you come back into the UK when you go on holiday at that time of year. So I think I'd like to go at a different time. And if you go to Florida in July and August, it is absolutely scorching hot, and the sun, you know, it burns so easily down there because it's practically in the Caribbean, really. So yeah, where were you going to go on holiday? Are you gutted that you've missed out? I know I would be. I wish we could afford to go on holiday every year, but we actually haven't been on holiday since 2015. But the trouble is, when you go to Disney, it does cost a lot of money, because the park tickets are even more expensive now. It was $250. If you wanted like Disney tickets, it was $250 per person, and it was the same if you wanted Universal tickets as well. So it's like £500 per person just for park tickets, and then the prices have gone up. It's about £350 per person now, and I guess like the more parks they build, it's just going to get more and more expensive. But we absolutely love Florida because everything's there. You know, even if you don't go to the parks, there's still loads to do. And the sun's it's always, I know it rains there, but the weather's always nice there because it is a long way down. I wish we could live there. But, you know, I have to say we're very lucky where we live. Don't want to sound ungrateful. So I guess another good question would be, where's your favourite holiday destination? Or as you call it in America, vacation. I tell you where I would like to go next time I go to Florida. Anna Maria Island. Really looks beautiful there. Seems like there's a lot of Airbnbs there as well. We usually go in hotels, just cheap ones. Usually, always actually, the cheapest we can find. But if I went to Anna Maria Island, I think I'd like to stay in an Airbnb. Right on the beach, if that's possible. Just so I can get my, you know, at least feel for a couple of days what it's like to live in a beach house, because there seems to be a lot of houses actually right on the beach there. I don't think there'll be much there, but it just looks like a really nice relaxation place. There she is. Wood, sage and sea salt soap. Absolutely gorgeous for the summer. Nice and fresh and clean, and so pretty. Okay, hope you enjoyed this one, everyone. I'll see you very soon for the fast version of this video. And then after that, we've got a very special soap coming up. That's if it turns out to be special. You have no way of knowing when it's the first time you're going to make a soap. Bye bye for now.